So I'm starting another adventure, and this one should be an interesting one because I'm headed up to the Sol Duc hot springs, and they don't allow reservations. It's all first come first served basis. It is Tuesday in the middle of May, so I don't think it's peak season, so I should be able to get a spot sometime today. And they work on like a slot system where you get an hour and a half in the hot springs. So if I get up there and they say, oh, we don't have a slot until this afternoon, I'll hang out by the resort. There's a bunch of trails in the area. We'll hit up maybe one of those, come back to the hot springs. Now I'm actually starting this adventure in the Olympic National Forest, about 30 minutes away from the hot springs, and I'm on the Discovery Trail. So I'm gonna hike on this for a little bit and then we'll head up there. Regardless of what happens, I do plan to spend a couple days in the Sol Duc area. So that's the plan for today and the rest of this next couple days. All right, I'm up in the Sol Duc area and I'm near the Sol Duc trailhead. There's actually a lot of trails that start out there, but on the way up here, I did stop at the resort and purchase a session for the hot springs. I opted for one later in the day, but it was pretty wide open. So I figured I'd come up here to the Sol Duc trailhead. There's actually a lot of trails that start out here or split off from this main trail. Now, probably will hike up to the Sol Duc Falls, maybe a little bit further, and then depending on how long all my hiking takes, I may explore some of the other attractions up in this area before heading down to the hot springs. This is the Canyon Creek Shelter. It was originally built in 1939, but over the years it has been reconstructed. This is the Sol Duc Falls. All right, so I've opted to continue hiking, and right at the falls there's several junctions, several options of where to go, but I opted for the Deer Creek Trail. I'm not going to go all the way out to Deer Creek, probably about another mile and a half, and then I'll head back towards the hot springs. Still got a lot of time in the day. One thing to note is, it may not seem like this, but we are in a rainforest, so you might have noticed that there's a lot of drainage on the trails because it does rain a lot here. Well, this is Canyon Creek campsite number 1. It's pretty primitive. I mean, I don't think the Olympic National Park allows fires in the backcountry, so it's just basically a tent pad. All right, I'm headed back to the van from the Canyon Creek campsite number 1. It's already noon. I managed to burn through quite a bit of this morning getting up here, going to the resort, checking out the trailhead. So once I get back to the van, I'll have lunch and then start driving towards the hot springs. I'm back at the Sol Duc trailhead, about to head out. Alright, so I had a little bit of time before my session at the hot springs starts, so I'm kind of exploring around the resort area, and they have this Eagle Ranger Station. I'm still burning through some time, so I came to this salmon cascades. It's a little exhibit talking about how salmon can swim up rapids like these ones. Alright, so I'm at the Sol Duc Hot Springs. This is only the third time I've ever been to hot springs. The other two times was this place down in California, the Deep Creek, and then Quinn's Hot Spring Resort in Montana. So I'm going to look around the resort. They've got some cabins and some other facilities here, and then it'll be about time for me to start my session in the hot springs. This is the resort itself. On the other side are the hot tubs. Now I'm not going to film any of that because there are going to be other people and possibly children. So I'll catch up once I'm finished. Alright, I finished up with the hot springs and I've actually left the national park and some national forest land. The hot springs was really nice. 90 minutes really wasn't that long. I felt anxious towards the end, but I'm calling it a wrap for the day. We'll pick up tomorrow. There's a few more spots in the national park that I want to get to. Well, day 2 up in the Sol Duc area, and I'm actually on the Olympic Discovery Trail right now, just outside of the park. As I was leaving the park yesterday, I saw 2 different trailheads that I figured I'd check out this morning, and then I'll head up to the park. All right, I'm at the second trailhead that I wanted to check out. Now you have to walk down this road a little bit to get to the actual Olympic Discovery Trail, and there's some kind of private campground / resort here on the right. So we'll wander down the trail for a little bit, then head up to the Sol Duc area. Alright, this is a much nicer section of the Olympic Discovery Trail than I've been on so far. Just feels like a lot of the sections are just long straightaways. This has a lot more corners. Also, the vegetation around here is pretty spectacular. Alright, so I'm inside the park now. I'm at the Aurora Ridge Trailhead. Now all of these distances are one-way direction, so for instance, Eagle Lake is 12 miles round trip. has started drizzling, so we'll see how this hike goes. Alright, the vegetation changed quite abruptly. Doesn't look like it was a forest fire. Might have been a controlled burn, but I suspect we're far enough back that we're in a wilderness area. Alright, I'm heading back now. I actually turned around where the vegetation changed. I mean, I could find that in a lot of places around here, but I want to enjoy what the Sol Duc has to offer, so I'm headed back to the trailhead. This is going to be the last stop. It's the Ancient Groves Nature Trail. It's said that some of these trees are over 750 years old. Well, this was a nice little hike to wrap up my time here at the Sol Duc area. I want to thank you for watching. If you have any questions about the Sol Duc area or any of my recent travel, be sure to leave a comment.